In this video we will show you how to assemble a OGAWA Maestro. If you have disassembled it and can't remember how to assemble it, then we will show it to you now. When you have disassembled the complete chair, it is important to assemble it in the correct way, otherwise you will have trouble getting other pieces on the chair. We will start with the headpiece. It goes on like this, and you take these two, put in the top. You can just put them in by hand at start. Then you take the yellow hoses on each side and plug them in. It is important that they go through this little piece of the plastic. Put them in like this. Then you take these screws and put in like this. And remember, there's three screws each side that has to be put in. You can just put them in by hand to start with. As you can see, this is not very easy, and you have to be a bit patient. But if you start by just putting them in by hand, then you can move this around a bit, and you can align all three screws in each side. To tighten them, I use a tool like this. You can use a similar tool, but if you only have a, like one of these bent hex screws, then hex tools, then it will just take a bit longer. And then you just tighten one on each side. So it lines up, and then you can tighten these two, and then the four rest. Now we will take the left side and put back on the chair. Again, this is important that these overlap this part. So next up, this part has to be installed. You take the wires. You have to go through this hole. The side. To get all the wires inside like this. Then you lift up the side so this bracket can go above this. Like that. And that will keep the side from falling off. Then you align the side, so you can put the rear screw in this hole down here. If you have trouble seeing where the screw has to connect to the chassis, you can hold it out like this, so you can see the tip of the screw, and you can point it into the hole. Then you just slightly tighten this, not fully. We wait with that until the other screws are put in. The other one should just go in by hand. If they do not go in by hand like this, there's a chance that you have cross-threaded it, and that won't be good. Now you just tighten these up. And lastly, the rear. Now you have to put in 2 of the 3 screws back here. There's one here and one up here. If you use an electric drill, be careful with these and do not use past 2 or 3 on the torque setting on the drill, because that will strip the plastic. Lastly, you have to put all the wires back together. Luckily they only fit one place, so this, for example, cannot be put together with something like this. Well, it can, but they are different colors, so obviously they don't go together. And the last one up here. Then you just have to route these back in place. Like that. And then this side is put on. And now for the right side. Be careful not to lose this small screw. And the same goes for this side. All the wires and the hose for the airbags have to go through the hole, and this bracket has to go over this. Like that. Again, you take the rear screw and put it through the hole, and you can again aim just screw it in slightly, and now you can take the rest. When that is tight, you put in these 2 screws up here. Like that. And then the last one that holds the ground strap on the chair. It has to go under this and come up from behind, and then you put the screw through the hole. Like that. Now you're left with one hose. Goes on there. The big plug goes in like that, and a smaller one like that. And that's it. That's how you put the right side on. Now the upper rear panel has to go on, and it was secured here, 2 up here, one, and these 2. The 2 up here can be rather tricky to put in. But they go on like this. And now for the rear panel. The rear panel goes in like this. There's the big screws you use for these 4, and then there's the 2 small ones up here. Like that. And finally, you can put the 2 screws from the side panels. On each side. They are a bit different in length. They are a bit longer than the rest of the screws you use. And these go in here. Now it's time to put these on. They go on like this. And then you just line the screw up, the screw hole. There's 7 screws in total. And it's the same for the other side. This upper headpiece is okay to put on. It's you just have to align all these, and when they are aligned, you can push it in. I find it easiest to align these in top, and then just squeeze like this. Then it's hold on by that. For the rear part, you have to be a bit careful to line it up. And the rest should be aligned like that. Then there's these screws down here have to go in, and this one up here goes in from the rear, and then these 2, one here and one here. And this side piece is also put on with these clips, and if you align them, you can see from the top if they are aligned. They will go together pretty easy. Like that. And then there's just in the bottom of this piece, there's 7 screws that has to go in. It is secured with 1 screw in the rear. It's the same procedure, just have to line these up. It can be the easiest to line them up in the rear. Then in the front, and then just gently tap like this, and they should pop right in. And for the rear, you just have to be sure they align before you give them a almost gently tap. On, you just secure them with the screw down here.